morning. Welcome to Morning Moments. I'm so glad that you took the time to join us this morning. I have an actor from the Dallas area. He's not only an actor, but he has played stuntman, football stuntman. I've never had a football stuntman on before. And a good brother in the Lord, Joshua Moody. Welcome, Joshua.
Thank you for having me, Andy. I appreciate it, man. It's a blessing to be on your podcast today.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. What do you do and why do you do it?
Right now, I'm kind of a jack of all trades, man. To make my money on the daily, I drive trucks. I got my Class A CDL license, but that's really just fuel to fund my true passion, which is what you see behind me. Make movies, produce movies that will impact people in a positive way. I keep it real with them. It's not really preachy, but it's something that will reach the youth and something that they can relate to. And hopefully after watching my films, they will want to get their life over to Christ. You know, even if it's not a non-believer, somebody like that watching it, maybe they might see something that will encourage them to just keep the faith in whatever their faith base is, to never give up on themselves, no matter what adversity come their way, that they can overcome that adversity with the help of God or with the help of whatever they believe in. So yeah, man, I do what I do for my brother, my older brother that's still incarcerated. He's been in prison for 14 years and counting. Sometimes you can learn what to do in life by watching other people's mistakes. And one of the things that my brother told me before he got prison was to hold it down for me and mom and for his son as well. And so I'm just trying to be a positive example in my nephew's life and also in my children's life. I got 3 small kids. Matter of fact, that's one of my daughters. That's my daughter right there. Oh. That's in the movie. I had to give her some shine, some camera time. But yeah, I do it for you know, my brother in the human flesh, but also just to save souls and to just try to be the best person I can be. I'm not perfect, far from perfect, but I believe that people are watching us even when we don't even think about it. People can look at our page, at our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and you want to leave some type of positive legacy. You don't want to spread a lot of negativity out there in the world because nothing is never really deleted. So we just want to make sure that we're always on point at home with our children. You know, as that Bible, as it says, as Christ led the church, as we should lead our family, we need to do that at home and when we're out in public. So yeah, that's what sorry for the long answer, man. Sometimes I can rap.
That's great. That's why I asked the question. I wanted the answer. That's great. You started out with movies and television as a football stuntman, and you had to tell me a little bit more about that. How that happened.
You know, it's funny. God, he will equip you for things later on in your life when you had no idea. I started on offense in football, but I never was like the main star. And I knew I didn't never have goals to make it into the NFL, anything like that. My whole purpose of playing football was to try to get a scholarship so my parents won't have to pay for my education. And I ended up getting a partial scholarship, but that football was really God equipping me with the tools to be able to get into the acting industry and ultimately be able to get me to the point where I am now to make films that can hopefully impact people in a positive way. And so just going back to your question, I was working a data entry job in downtown Dallas, and something had just told me to go on Craigslist. Like I never used to go on Craigslist, but I had typed gigs in Craigslist, and the audition for Friday Night Lights came up. And it said, need African-American Latino men between the ages of 18 and 25 with football experience. And I was like, ding, ding, ding. That was like me to a T. And I'm like, man, because I had been doing stand-up comedy. And I looked at guys like Martin Lawrence, Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy, all these famous comedians it's like that's how they got on TV was through stand-up comedy. So I wanted to do the same thing. And I was trying to go about it my way, but I had no success. I wasn't getting no clout. I wasn't like Jamie Foxx blowing off of my stand-up comedy. And so I had went to a Bible study. I was invited by, she's my wife now, but at the time we were just talking. She was like, she invited me to Bible study, and I had read this verse that says, do these things unto me and the rest shall be added unto you. And so I didn't fully understood what it mean at the time. But when I started to go home and read my Bible after Bible study, I understood it as once I start giving the Lord more of my time, the things that I'm out here seeking for myself, he would just open the door up. So I'm at work and the audition come up, and I called a photographer. I took me some headshots the same day, made me up like a little small resume. And they called me the following week, and the casting director was like, are you playing college football right now? Are you in school? Are you if we cast you, are you gonna be able to commit for the duration of the show? And I'm answering all the questions the way I'm supposed to answer. So I go out there to the audition. It's probably like 150, 200 guys out there. And they can only keep 20 background football players. So they chose 19 guys. I kid you not. They had room for one more guy. So it was two women looking at all the men. We had like these name tags and the number on our jersey, on our shirt, workout shirts or whatever. And they looking like, man. And I seen one lady point at me, and another lady shook her head. And so they walked up to me, and they was like, are you here for the football stunts, or are you here for the background acting? And I'm like, oh, ma'am, I'm here for the background acting. I'm like, oh, okay, well, we thought she was here for the football stunts, because I guess they were looking at my physique or something. But long story short, I was the last person to get chosen to be a background actor. And on Friday Night Lights, and that just kind of led to me getting upgraded, and that basically gave me my start in the industry.
Didn't you have a coach tell you something about you're a linebacker, you can't tackle or something?
Yeah, my linebacker coach, Coach Love at Carter High School. I used to lift weights with my shirt off. And he was like, Moody, you can't tackle worth the crap, but I bet you're going to be a model or something like that. Because I could always lift a lot of weight up top. I couldn't squat a lot, but he was just kind of just pulling my leg, just joking with me, saying that I can't tackle very good, but I probably could be a model someday.
Well, so that's what they need a stuntman I need somebody who can't tackle to come here and show me how you can't tackle. And there you go. That's
miss this tackle on purpose.
Miss this tackle on purpose, movie. Yeah, there you go. Isn't it amazing? And I'm always amazed how God just paves the way. If I would try to figure it out myself, I'm not that smart. I can't figure it out. But when I have surrender, and I often in the show, I talk about so many times, when surrender is your reasonable service, you can expect great things from God. Man. When you surrender your career, your marriage, your family, your anything to God, it's
things
all
just start
yours.
falling into place. It start falling into place, man. But we be so hard-headed. You know, we be thinking we can figure stuff out on our own until we go dead broke, or until we lose our marriage, or until we in the hospital. Then that's when we want to turn to God. So I want to speak to the young people, man, that's out there, you know, thinking they hard, thinking they smarter than their parents, thinking that they know it all. Like, save yourself a lot of headache and a lot of mistakes, a lot of losing your hair, whatever the case may be. Trust in God, lean unto his understanding and not your own, and listen to the elders that have been through some of the things that you might be going through right now, and they might have advice for you. It's almost like having a mentor. Why should I go out there and look for all these leads when the mentor already got the leads in his phone contacts and he can just give them straight to me? It's the same thing with your parents or with God, man. It's like sometimes don't be a know-it-all, be a learn-it-all. Listen.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So you've done some other films. God's also opened doors up. Have you done some short films, faith-based films, or what have some things you've done?
I produced and wrote my own short film back in the Gap. It won a local first place award. I'm in post-production on this movie right now, adding my music composition. But I've also been blessed to, I will say this, I wouldn't even have the confidence or know how to do, ooh, let me block that scene. Some stuff going on in that scene. Hey, but it's a prison, you know
Yeah,
what I
it's a
mean?
prison. It's a prison.
If you want to reach young people, you can't keep it all. These kids have been exposed to so much more than we think. If you try to go preachy, you're gonna lose their attention span. So you got to keep it real. Somebody's gonna be able to relate to my content. It might not be for everybody, but it has a goal in mind. It's gonna reach somebody. But back to I've been blessed to work on stuff like The Chosen, with Dallas Jenkins as the director. And it's so many other, man, it's just something about that show. That's like my favorite TV show to work on, man, because I've never been on a TV show where it's in season 1, especially after breakfast, after crew gets done eating breakfast, Dallas, Chad, the producers, some of the actors, whoever, the crew, background, whatever, they would get at a table and they would pray with each other. Dallas would read like a story out of the Bible, and it was all optional. They didn't force nobody to do it. It was like your choice. And we would literally go around the table and pray with one another. Like that was I had never been involved in anything like that. And that really impressed me. It made me say, man, this is the type of productions that I want to do. This is the type of sets that I want to produce and be a part of. So I had a chance to work on Friday Night Lights. I watched Michael B. Jordan and Connie Britt, Kyle Chandler, Taylor Kish. I was blessed to be a second AD on Mrs. Channing movie called Miss Juneteenth. I believe that movie exceeded a lot of expectations. It did very well. If you haven't watched Miss Juneteenth, it came out about 2 years ago. It's a very good movie shot here locally in Fort Worth. So I worked on a lot of different projects, man. And wherever I go, I try to network with people, even if it's just on Facebook, because you never know when you might need them to, hey man, I know you do sound. I don't know a lot about sound, but can you come be my boom op? Or hey, I might need a judge. And Andy, you look like you can play a good judge. So hey, so yeah, man, I try to network wherever I go.
You know, we're going to put down below your credits, some things you've been in, some things you mentioned, some things you haven't mentioned, so people could see the work you've done, maybe some things that's in post-production that's not even released yet, so that you could see the body of work that Joshua has done. God's given him a ability to just and a willingness just to do whatever it takes to get the job done, which means God he could be used as an actor, but also put him on your set and he'll do whatever you need him to do, because he's got that heart of just I want to just do whatever I need to do to get the job done. He would be a great brother to have on your set. I just want to say that. I also want to say that I want those of you that's listening to this podcast, I want you to take the time and pray for this brother in the Lord, that God would just continue to bless him, continue to be the father he needs to his lovely children, needs to be the husband he needs to be to his wife, that God would bless his family, his career, and that I want you to take the time right now after this interview is over and pray for him and his family. He needs your prayer more than anything else, and that God would continue to use him. It has been a pleasure to have you on Morning Moments. I'm so blessed to have you. Thank you so much.
I'm blessed that you, man, that you're giving me this platform, because, you know, a lot of people that's not famous, or, you know, they're just now starting out. You know, a lot of people want to be involved with the glory, but not when you're beginning your story. Yeah. And so you being one of the first people to interview me, that means a lot, because people at the bottom need that attention. That's what's going to help people know about what I'm doing, or that's what's going to help, you know, man, this is amazing. So you're blessing me, and thank you for what you do as well.
Thank you, Joshua, and thank you for joining me for Morning Moments. And I'm going to ask my audience to continue to keep coming back, and I'll see you next time on Morning Moments. And God richly bless you.